In today's video, I'm going to show you how to clean up your formulas with this function here in Google Sheets. If you're working on a spreadsheet and you've encountered some errors, here's a simple function that will help you clean up or replace those errors with something else. In this video, I'm going to show you two examples on when you can use this function. So let's get started. We have this first example where I've used the VLOOKUP function to look up some of these information right here based on a customer ID. Right now, I have some errors because the cell reference that I used in my formula is currently blank at the moment. But if I were to put in a valid ID right here, we do have some results, but when I, let's say, delete that, it will give me an error. Now, I don't want to see those errors when the cell reference for the customer ID is blank, or let's say I input a wrong one or something that's not found within our data, it will still give us that error. So what do we do to make sure that we don't see that error when the cell reference is blank or if it doesn't match anything from our data? What we're going to do is to replace that error with something else with the help of the if-error function. So here in our first formula right here, again, we have the I1 cell reference, which is blank at the moment. And what I want to do is to replace that error with the text not found. So let's go ahead and do that. We can edit our formula here in the cell itself by double-clicking, or we can also go to our formula bar here at the top. Let's try and edit our formula with the formula bar first. So I'm going to go to the beginning of this formula and put in my if error function. There we have it. Open parentheses, and this would be our value. So that's the error, comma, and the value that we're going to replace that error with would be a text. Now our text should be in quotation marks. There we go. Or else if we don't put it in quotation marks, we will face another error. Close that off and press enter. And there we have it. We've successfully replaced the error NA with the not found text. So instead of seeing the error, we will just see this result right here. Let's go ahead and do that again. Let's try and edit our formula right here. There we go. Double click on that. Again, type in if error. That's our value, comma, and again in quotations, the text not found. And there you have it. And now we can just do this to the rest of our data. And there we have it. Now we have a much cleaner looking spreadsheet without the errors inside. So if we do encounter that error, instead of an error, we will be met with this text right here where it will say not found. If we were to put in a customer ID, a correct one right here, there we have it. But if we, let's say, made a mistake, we will have not found. Let's move on to our next example. So in our next example, we have encountered the divided by zero error because we have the value of 0 for our sales right here. Here is our formula. Since we are dividing our cost to our sales, it will give you this error. Now let's just say somebody forgot to put in the sales right here. That's why we are encountering this error. So what we're going to do is to replace that divided by zero error with something else. We can replace that with the text no sales or even a blank. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to double click on this to edit that formula. Again, put that if error function at the beginning. Here is our value, comma, and our value if we encounter the error would be no sales. Close that off, and there we have it. Now to make it easier, we can just simply drag this formula down. And now we have replaced all those divided by zero error with the no sales text. And there you have it. So now our data is definitely looking much better without those errors inside. And that's how you can clean up your formulas with this function, which is our if-error function here in Google Sheets. Thank you for watching this quick tutorial. Make sure to subscribe for more helpful videos, and I will see you in the next one.